Well, for a
And you
cheat
can
day.
get vegans. You can get vegan
You
donuts.
can get vegans.
You can
Yeah,
get
can I get
vegans.
some extra vegans, please?
They sell them by the dozen.
Yeah. Welcome to the magic of animation, where we explore the enchanting world of Disney, from the classics we grew up with to the latest releases. We'll take a deep dive into the artistry, storytelling, the unforgettable characters, and the pure magic that makes these movies timeless. So whether you're a lifelong Disney fan or new to the magic, sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on our journey through the wonderful, magical world of animation. Hi-ho everybody, come with us on our journey to Neverland. My name is Joey. People call me Joey. And I'm joined by, I don't remember their nicknames, Charismatic Dequan,
Hello, hello.
the Energetic Kevin,
Hey there.
and the Witty Mike.
Hello.
That was right?
Yeah, we'll
I think
go
so.
with that.
Yeah. Alright.
Go with that.
We had some technical difficulties, recorded for 3 minutes, and my mic wasn't on, so good stuff. Let's start with Pooh's 100-acre check-in again. Dequan, how was your week?
As I said before, my week starts on a Friday. So my week was pretty good. Worked a lot of double shifts and then ended the week off with, spending time with my brothers and my dad and my stepmom for my dad's birthday. Did some barbecuing.
Awesome. Kevin?
Had a good week. Spent some time with family. Celebrated the wife's birthday and spent some time out on the lake.
That is pretty great. On a boat or just on a beach?
Both.
Oh. Pontoon?
Yep.
Nice. Party boat. How about you, Mike?
It was alright. Stressful because I had some computer issues that I spent 5 hours trying to fix, but it's working, so it's good. And then I went out with family. And that's pretty much it.
Beautiful. I feel like we just recorded last week's episode yesterday. I don't know what happened to the week. I've just been so busy at work. And this weekend just went by just like in a blink of an eye. With that, we will jump into stats from Baymax. Peter Pan was released by Disney Animation once again on February 5th in 1953. This was a 2-year gap from Alice in Wonderland. It's based on Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, produced by Walt Disney, of course. The budget was $4 million, and they made $8.6 million. So that is a pretty successful movie. And in Lifetime, it made $87 million. And then Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 77 Rotten score. Oh, my doggy is barking. And the audience score is an 80. And with that, we'll jump into Dory's dive into memories. What is your boys' memories of this movie?
So my only memory, okay, I have a few memories of this movie, but I think my biggest memory is this may not seem like a surprise to anybody, but my biggest memory was
Oh, yeah.
always wondering why, always trying to figure out why Tinkerbell can turn different colors. So as a young guy, I never really understood. But then I found out my mom explained it to me. That I thought to myself, "Oh, maybe I could turn red if I'm mad." That's not the case at all, actually. I think I'm a smidget too much on the dark side to be able to turn red. So that's my biggest memory of the movie.
That's incredible. How about you, Kevin?
Nothing too much, honestly. I mean, I remember seeing it as a kid, but no real staple memories there.
Mike?
Just really, just certain moments from it, that's all. I just remember seeing it as a kid. Like, I remember seeing the shaving scene. When it came, I'm like, oh, I remember this. And strangely enough, I didn't remember the dog doing this, but I remember the whole, whatever they were pouring in the spoon. And I was like, I don't know why. When I saw him, like, oh, so that's where that was from. That's locked in my brain as a weird memory. I just remember seeing a weird liquid being poured into a spoon and on a hand. And that's just really it, honestly.
With that, we'll jump into Timon and Pumbaa's movie review, and we're changing things up a little bit with the order and what we do things. I think this week we are going to start with overall enjoyment so that we can spend a little bit more time in this segment. So I don't know how much I enjoyed this movie. I very much enjoyed every scene with Hook and Shmi. Or Smee, not Shmi. But man, I did not like Peter Pan, so...
Oh boy. Oh boy. Before we even started, I was telling Kevin, I was like, man, I have some words for this movie. I have some words. I do not like this movie. And I really don't like Peter Pan. Like, I'm just going to let someone else speak.
How did you enjoy it, Kevin?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't hate it. It was more enjoyable than some of the other slower movies that we've seen up until now. Was it one of the best? No. But it rode the middle ground.
How about you, Mike?
Looks like I'm the outlier here because I actually thoroughly enjoyed it a lot. A lot more than I expected. I thought I wasn't gonna, because I was kind of like, oh, I think this is just gonna be okay. And at the end I was like, I actually liked it. And this is gonna give me a lot of hate from a certain someone here I already know, but I actually kind of liked Peter Pan.
Whoa.
I'm generally surprised because I used to not like him. From what I remembered, I'm like, he is a jerk. And then I'm watching, I'm like, actually, he's
wild.
just a kid.
That is wild.
Actually, I even have a comparison I thought about that I'm like, I shouldn't say it because you're going to hate me even more when I make the comparison. So I don't want to because I know you're going to be ready to butcher me for it.
Well, now
I
you
don't know
have
what
to.
you're thinking, but I'm thinking something else. Don't make that comparison. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because I'm afraid it's what I'm thinking of. I hope it's not.
Should I give you a hint? You want a hint?
No. You have to tell us.
That is only fair. It is fair to tell us. I swear, Mike.
You're gonna hate me.
I swear.
And I have a specific version of this specific character.
There's only one way I will hate you. And if it's what I'm...
It is Sonic from Sonic Boom. Yep.
No.
Yep.
You're comparing Peter Pan to Sonic?
His attitude and personality. Very cocky, confident, full of himself, doesn't take his fight super seriously, plays them off as very silly, and just knows he's gonna win at the end, basically.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Because
Yes.
Peter Pan had little to no respect for the people around him. And Sonic has a ton of respect.
That's a
for the
very
people
good
around
point.
him.
Peter Pan could care less about anyone. Or is it couldn't care less or is it could care less? Couldn't care less.
But see, that's where you guys are wrong. He's a kid with very massive ADHD. He gets very distracted because the second you tell him about someone, it's like, oh, you're right. And you go do that.
See?
Like with the one girl who was almost drowning.
See?
And then
That's
Wendy
why-
cut off, so she never even got to say with the mermaid part. But he's a kid. Again, he doesn't see this as it's being really mean. He thinks it's just all fun play. He doesn't take it seriously. And there's been episodes of Sonic Boom where he's
But-
been like that.
That's a problem because it's life and death for a lot of the people that he is surrounding himself with. So he should be taking it seriously.
Exactly. That's why I don't consider that's not a fair comparison because like Sonic also has massive ADHD, but when his friends are in danger, he risks his life. He doesn't hesitate, and he stays on mission and on task. He's still
Yeah, and that's
fooling
why-
around, though.
And Peter Pan had went in to save them multiple times. Did he not?
He was about to let
Did he
Wendy
not
get
come and save
drowned.
people at the end? Well, he came there to save her.
No.
And when he was told about it, he's like, "Oh,
no,
I need to go save. I need to go, stop her from drowning."
no,
She was fine.
He did not go to save her. He went to go
Yeah, he
save the
did.
mermaids for getting
Yeah.
caught by the conch because Wendy was about to break their skulls.
No, I'm talking about the girl who had the anchor tied to her.
Oh, no, I'm
He
talking about the
saved her.
mermaids.
The mermaids were just when they said drowned, I was like, "Well, that's dark." And then that never got addressed afterwards.
He thought that was funny.
He did.
He thought it was funny that they were splashing her with water.
They said that they were going
They
to
said we were
drown
just gonna
her.
drown her. And he said nothing about it. He was like, "It's cool."
Yeah, he just
Probably
he-
because
I
he's
mean,
not
he figured
taking
they
it
were
seriously.
messing
Like,
around.
they're not really going to drown her, and if they did, he probably would have stopped it. If it came to that point, I can guarantee you he would. But also, that's playing what ifs.
I mean, I feel like he did take it pretty lightheartedly when, I mean, Tink tried to kill her too.
No,
Right.
he banished her. Remember, he got real mad.
After
Oh, yeah,
someone told him
but
to.
for a week. I mean, yeah, for
No, he said
forever.
eternity.
But then
Only when
yeah.
Wendy said something like that's a little harsh. The girl who almost got killed because of her said, "Don't be so harsh." And he's like, "You're right."
Speaking of that,
Only a week.
I don't remember Tinkerbell being so vicious.
I'm glad
He was
she
very
is, bro,
jealous.
because from the start of the movie, she was treated like garbage.
Right.
Like from the very start, and she was. They proceeded treating her like garbage. He taught the kids bad behavior. He grabs Tinkerbell and like smacks her butt to put pixie dust on them without her permission,
Right.
and then teaches the little baby to grab her and shake her. Like, no, I hate.
When did
this
he
guy.
teach a little baby to grab? The baby just did that.
That's
By-
what I'm
by
saying.
watching
he
him do
learned
it.
from Peter Pan's example.
We just learned that dust works.
What the old saying goes, kids learn from example. And that kid watched what Peter Pan did. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, she could have just flown away, but she sat there pouting.
She was hemmed up. He grabbed her.
No,
Where'd she
when she
fly?
was sitting there, why didn't she fly away?
How is she gonna fly away when the kid
She
grabbed her?
has wings. She
didn't
was
know
sitting.
She was, gonna
She
get
was
grabbed.
sitting there. I would just sit in grab range. What?
She didn't know he flew over her and snatched her up.
That's her fault.
What?
Facial awareness is
No.
garbage because she's so petty and jealous.
She has the right to be.
I do agree she does. Especially since, and again, I blame it, again, fully, this kid is, like, just ADHD as all heck. Second he came there, completely just forgot.
Peter Pan's the real villain of this movie.
Well,
Nah.
I thought I was going to be in the minority of one, but it looks like Mike is in the minority of one.
No, I knew Dino hates this, was not gonna like this movie no matter what.
But
I-
his
I-
favorite
I
movie's
gave it my
Tinkerbell,
best
though.
effort.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I gave it my
Nor
best
would I.
effort, but Batman Peter Pan,
No,
he's the
that,
problem.
see, you guys are looking at it as, oh, because Tinkerbell's in it, he likes it. No, he likes Tinkerbell. Nothing
And don't
else.
get me wrong, I like Wendy too. Wendy's a great character. Like, she's great.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
I would think so. Like, she's just adventurous.
Great's a
I
strong
think
word.
she is. If you're gonna be mad at Peter Pan for being all over the place, she was all over the place too. She was like, "I like you." Wait, no, I don't. Wait, yes, I do. Now I'm mad. Like she
Okay,
was
look.
all flippity floppity.
Look, I don't fault you on that. I don't fault you on that. And that I will say that is pretty flippity floppity. But if you can give Peter Pan the excuse that he's a kid, you can give her that same excuse.
Oh no, I'm not saying for me. I'm saying for you. I liked her.
Oh, well, welcome to the club.
I generally like this movie. I thought the characters were great, minusing from some very, very poor choice words. I actually really like this movie, and I was generally surprised.
I want them to rename the movie from Peter Pan to Neverland. I think that's a better name of a movie.
Well, actually, I think isn't that the name of the original book?
What?
If I'm looking at it right now, because I brought it up because I was really curious about the because in the beginning of the movie they bring up the point that this book was for like a children's like sickness hospital or something. So I brought it up, and I think the book is called The Neverland Girl.
Pretty sure the
Actually
book's
started
called
out as
Peter
a
Pan.
play.
Who wrote? It says he wrote a book and play. Wait, no, he gave. Wait, who wrote Peter Pan gave the copyright and all royalties for the book and play to some guy. To Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children in London, so that Peter Pan could always look after children who were unwell. That's just one piece article I have up though.
That's some. I didn't know that. I will say this though. I will say this. Although, as much as I love Tinkerbell, as much as I love the character, I will admit this: trying to kill Wendy was very extreme. I don't approve of that. Everything else I approve of though.
Honestly, I thought she should have been mad at Peter Pan, not Wendy. That's where I was. Just my problem was with her. I'm like, lady, your anger is misdirected. Again, I liked Peter Pan, but he did Tinkerbell wrong, because the second they came in there, he's like all ADHD, just gone, forgot, locked in a cupboard, didn't even think. Wait, where did Tinkerbell go? Where is she? No, didn't even cross his mind. He has faults. I never said he's great. I just said I actually kind of liked him.
So the last thing I'll say about this before we move on to storyline and plot is that I did not like Peter Pan and I did not like Wendy, as I said. So when your favorite characters and moments from the movie are from the villain, it's not a good sign.
Wait, are we on characters right now?
No.
He's just explaining his side.
Oh, okay, I got you.
We're going to storyline and plot if you guys are good with overall enjoyment.
Yep.
Sweet. So, the adaptation of J.M. Barrie's story about a boy who never grew up, the three children of the Darling family receive a visit from Peter Pan, who takes them to Neverland, where an ongoing war between Peter's gang of ragtag runaways and the evil pirate Captain Hook is taking place. It had a better storyline and plot than Alice in Wonderland. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I hate
That's
to
for
admit,
sure.
The super iconic Disney Fast Play line of "Come on, everybody, here we go."
Here we go.
Freaking, whenever I hear that, it just takes me back instantly.
Yeah. That's nostalgia.
We have our heading.
So, I should have brought this up in enjoyment. I don't know, but this movie actually. So when I previously said from memories, I remembered only a few scenes. When I was watching this movie, it really did kind of take me back and hit me with a real big nostalgia hit with like the voice, like something with like the audio direction of like the characters. It just like brought me back to that time of watching this.
Yeah, so
it
like
hit me with nostalgia, even though I don't have a lot of memories from it.
I know I've seen this in the past, but watching it, I didn't get any of those feelings. It's like I was watching it for the first time.
You're like, it's a whole new experience.
My memory is so bad. I'm in trouble when I get older.
What the heck?
your memory's not bad. Your memory just focuses on the current things, not the past things.
It really isn't, though.
I don't know. I will say that the podcast and the way you're organizing things say otherwise.
Well, if I didn't do that, if I didn't take as many notes as I would not be able to talk to you guys during these podcasts. I wouldn't remember anything, even though I watched the movie yesterday.
You got too much going on up there in the
Wait
brain.
a minute.
That is true. I have a lot going on, and it's ridiculous. Need to slow this brain down.
So I just learned something.
What'd you learn?
I don't take this with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, when they sold this book for the hospital, or sold it to the hospital for the kids, it saved that hospital from going out of business.
Well, that's good.
It literally kept that hospital in business, it sounds like, because they made so much revenue with the books and play, or like from the royalties they collected from having the ownership of Peter Pan.
And then they went and sold it to Disney.
Yep.
Crazy. Yeah, because that was in 1929, it sounds like.
Have you seen the movie Saving Mr. Banks?
No.
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
It is the story on Walt Disney trying to buy the rights to the story Mary Poppins to make the movie.
Great movie.
And it is phenomenal. Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney, and he is the perfect casting for him, and I highly recommend you watch that.
Yep.
Is it? It's not like a documentary, right? Is
No.
it like one of those
No,
like
it's
the,
just it's
what
a
is it, the
movie
McDonald's
about.
movie?
Yeah. It's the movie about how he got the rights to that story,
Okay, cool.
and it's a phenomenal movie. Colin
I actually
Farrell.
like those movies where they're
Uh,
about like the characters of from like history and stuff.
Yeah. Who's the actress? Emma Thompson. Great
Don't ask
movie.
me. I didn't even know about
Great
this
movie.
movie. Can't answer that one.
But we already talked about this. But Tink told the Lost Boys to shoot Wendy out of the sky. That was a good plot point. One thing that I didn't like is everyone kept leaving Michael behind. He was only like 2 years old.
My point exactly. Just stay at home.
The fact that Peter Pan was able to imitate Hook perfectly was quite odd.
Well, not just Hook, but like he was able to, I think, imitate multiple people.
Yeah.
Like his impersonations are spot on.
Yeah. So going back to overall enjoyment a little bit, I forgot to mention this. I fell asleep. So
What? Wait, what part?
during
Just curious.
their celebration at the Indian village or whatever, I was starting to doze off, and then they went back to wherever they went, and then my wife yelled at me to wake up, and she was like, "You're not even watching," and I was like, "Oh," and that was when they captured all the Lost Boys when I woke up.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you slept through. Oh wow.
Probably a bunch of storyline driven dialogue.
We have two-part sleepers back to back.
Well, at least the Quanzig only missed like 30 seconds of the movie.
Look, it was.
I thought he missed the whole
powerful
ending of the
choice.
movie.
Well, he said that he remembered the jury or the courtroom, and then he woke up
Yeah,
and the movie was over, and the courtroom is like 2 minutes from the end of the movie.
Yep.
So, but back to
Yeah, I think
storyline.
you missed about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10,
not good.
something like that.
I'm a bad host.
I'm waiting for when is it me and Kevin's turn to fall asleep.
Joke's on you. I've fallen asleep through every one of them, but I rewound them.
Oh no, the secret unveiled.
It's the source of his power. Why was everyone so jealous of Peter Pan? Tinkerbell got jealous of Wendy. The mermaids didn't like Wendy. Wendy didn't like Tiger Lily. Peter Pan's not that big of a catch, guys.
You want to know why?
He's a magic boy.
Because he's the
Because
cool guy of the group.
They're
He's
used to
technically-
having them all to themselves.
Yeah.
No competition other than one another, but they all have their own place.
Hmm.
He is the, and not just saying it for the movie, but in that world, he is the main character. He doesn't need to take any of his fights seriously because he's always basically winning. He tells the greatest stories for the girls. This is the perspective, not me saying it. He leads, the Lost Boys himself. He gets along with everyone who isn't the pirates. He's charming. He's charismatic.
Says you.
Says the movie. Speaking from the movie, my man.
And then the last thing I have is that it was incredible that Tinkerbell sacrificed herself to save Peter at the end when she took the bomb away from him. I mean, she didn't die, but she very well could have. Blew up in her face.
I ain't gonna lie, Tinkerbell is mad foolish, bro. Like you said, he is not that much of a cat.
That's good stuff. If you guys don't
Well, to
have
be
any,
honest, who else does they really have on the island?
Captain Hook.
They don't like him. He's old and crusty and a jerk.
Old
Not
and crusty.
bro. He actually is very hygienic.
Do you see his nice, clean
that's
pink
sweet.
shirt?
Actually, there was something I did notice, right? So when they're doing the whole shaving scene,
Mm-hmm.
they actually had him with 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
But after that scene, he's completely clean shaved throughout the rest of the movie. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool attention to detail.
When I saw Smee with the razor and that, I was like, oh, he does have a little stubble there. And I was like, I don't remember his character having that. And it's because he doesn't after that scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It just reminded me of that. I probably should have saved that for animation, but it just kind of sparked into my brain, and I
know.
blurted it.
There's no concrete rules here. We did stats from Baymax in the middle of the review segment a couple episodes ago, so we're just making it up as we go. You guys good to go to characters?
Yeah.
So the first thing that I want to mention... Oh, sorry, DeQuench, what?
I was just saying I'm pretty good.
Oh, okay. The first thing I want to mention is that Disney, at this point, had a real obsession with the last name Darling. The family in this movie, last name is Darling. The family in 101 Dalmatians, their last name is Darling. And the lady who owns Lady in Lady and the Tramp, her nickname is Darling. So 3 of the next 4 movies have characters named Darling.
Coincidence? I think not.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, isn't the word darling a very popular word around that time?
Oh. Jiminy
Might have
must have
been.
been because Michael was saying it like every 3 seconds.
I'm gonna say that's a myth that's busted.
Bro, it's still crazy I made an appearance in this movie.
Oh, I was like, what? Nana was like the best trained dog ever. She was
Yes.
distributing honey
Yes.
and medicine to those dogs.
Oh my
Or
god,
those
yes.
dogs, those kids.
I felt so bad for her too. Such a good dog.
She
And
just kept rebuilding that block tower.
Oh, I was so mad when she was building it, and when she finally got mad enough and swatted, I'm like, me too, man, me too.
You know what's also crazy is not only was she able to put that tower together, but she didn't get an ounce of drool on it. She was able to just put it back in place and it was clean. I'm like, yo, whose dog is this?
She had incredible control of her body, her just everything, her temper. She was peak.
I like that she had a bonnet too.
I felt bad when I first saw her walk in and she's got the little teacup set on her head and I'm like, oh no, what are they doing to the dog? And then it turned out it wasn't like, taped to its head and I'm like, okay, that's kind of better, but not really. And then they're like, the dog's basically the nanny. I'm like, why are you doing this to the dog, man? Pet the dog, someone!
Yeah, so with that said, that dad absolutely sucked.
Yes, that is the worst.
To be
Oh.
honest, too, like, I'm gonna be honest. Yes, the dad entirely sucks, but the mom is an enabler. She enables him to do the
Yeah.
things they do, and I'm like, lady, come on, they're your kids too. What the heck? Help
Yeah,
them. You understand what they're going through. We should just let it go by idly.
speaking
She
out
tells
against
him,
your husband
like,
would
you
have
shouldn't
been
do that.
pretty bad for you back in the day.
Well, she,
I forgot
she
about that.
she does tell him, like, oh, don't be like that to the kids. She never really takes his side. She's a more of a middle ground person.
Oh yeah, it's a freaking amazing when the dad falls on Nana and they all run to
Deserved.
see if the dog's alright
Yeah.
instead of him.
The funny part about that too is that's reality. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, people are a little bit more concerned with animals than people's.
Yeah, especially since it's of his own volition. Like, everything that happens to him, I'm like, deserved. Deserved.
Yep.
The mom had like the greatest cleaning solution ever, by the way, to get all that marker off in one swoop.
Mind you.
Yeah, like, what's he
on
getting
a
mad about?
white
It's that
food.
easy.
I didn't even know whatever she has. She got the Mr. Clean towel. That's what she got.
All the kids had really good designs. Michael was freaking adorable. John with his glasses and his top hat was great. Wendy, I guess she's okay.
For the kids' designs, I would say that Wendy was my favorite design, then John.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what about her design I really like. I don't know. I might be biased due to like how the animation looks with her dress moving and her hair. That might be what sells her design for me.
Yeah, it was a pretty good design. I'm being harsh on her. It's not that she was bad. It's just she wasn't overly good.
Give me 1 minute real quick.
Okay. Are we waiting for him, or is he saying he's going to be back?
He's saying he's gonna be right back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know if he's.
Is there anything I can say that he wouldn't? I guess I can say I like Tiger Lily. Her design was cool, and she was like not taking crap from anybody.
I enjoyed that character very much. Oh wait, I know something I can say that won't advance, but it does step back a little bit on the aspect of Tiger Lily. So maybe I missed it, but when Hook's right hand man, I can't remember his name right now.
Me.
Shmee?
Shmee.
Smee.
Okay,
Oh, it's Smee? I always kept hearing
when
Shmee for some
Smee
reason.
decided to like roll her back, did she still have the rope and the anchor on her?
Probably.
Because when the water was encapsulating her, Peter Pan went under there and grabbed her, and there was no rope or anchor on her. Because I was thinking to myself, we went to go get her. I'm like, how you gonna lift that?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe Smee took it off because what's his face, the fake Captain Hook, told him to set her free.
Okay. She like
That
I
or
do
Peter
know
Pan
the
cut it
boat.
when he went under.
Like I know for a fact on the boat that she still had the rope on her. I don't remember if she had the anchor or not, but she still had the rope on her. But there's no way he did that in one fall swoop.
Yeah. I just remembered.
I mean, he was able to cut the rope a bunch of times very cleanly.
Underwater?
That ain't gonna stop him.
That should stop most people.
You think?
I just remembered that when they released the live action Peter Pan and Wendy a couple months ago, I also fell asleep watching that. But we'll go back to where I was going to go before Mike left because I feel like he's going to want to say something to this. My next note is Peter Pan is a full-blown narcissist.
Oh no, 100% he is. I'm not denying that. He is. That's his flaws.
It's a pretty big flaw.
Everyone has a flaw.
Tinkerbell is full of sass, and I love it. Except when she tried
That's
to
also
kill
a flaw.
someone.
I do love Tinkerbell sass, but I will say one thing, and I never noticed this the first time I watched it, but does the animators have a thing for Tinkerbell? Because they were doing a whole lot with Tinkerbell, with the mirror and
Yeah, they were
the
thirsty.
keyhole. And I was like, I don't remember any of this.
There was a time at Disney Studios that they were getting worked so much that they barely spent any time with their family, so maybe some of the animators were getting lonely.
No.
Jeez.
Actually, there was something I was gonna say because it was about Wendy before it was a phone call I had, by the way. Something I've realized coming through a lot of these movies is they really had a thing with giving the girls blue dresses, which I just find kind of interesting because it's like, they didn't go with like, for all that time, a stereotypical like, pink or something else like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? They were like, put them in the blue dress and it works. It looks great.
Snow
Cinderella
White.
had a blue dress. Alice had a blue dress. Not only the Great Fairy from Pinocchio, but also the Fairy Godmother, both blue dresses. And now Wendy.
I wonder if it has to deal with like maybe it's a rebuttal to the red dress. Red dresses will be hyper, sexualized, and it's supposed to be hot, while the blue dress is supposed to be more calm, tame, elegant.
Also
I
could
wonder
be
if
that
it's
blue's a
rebuttal.
easier color to animate. I don't know.
Actually, it's also kind of funny too, because in Cinderella they gave her a pink dress, right? That was her original dress. Tore that up, and then gave her a nice. Well, actually, it's more white than
It is
blue,
more
I
white,
guess.
but in the Disney Princess
Blue?
line, it's full on blue.
Yeah, it kind of like goes back and forth. It's like that, like whitish bluish, like a baby blue.
Yeah.
Baby blue is the color.
Nice powder blue.
Mm-hmm. That was just something I wanted to bring up before I had my phone call.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good note. Keep them coming. Smee
Wait,
is absolutely great, and he is super underrated. He was able to track down a pixie fairy who is small as can be and capture her, who can fly and is pretty fast at flying. He was able to track her down and capture her on his own.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll give him the tracking, but capturing her, I'm gonna be honest. Tinkerbell has showed that her reflexes are quite literally just trash.
That's fair. That's fair.
He should just be getting captured by a lot of people at this point.
Also, I mean, she is kind of like a firefly that never goes out.
Hmm.
So it's like she's constantly lit throughout a dark
Yeah,
forest.
he did find her at night, so I guess.
And she apparently, like, just has pixie dust constantly coming off her.
Well, she's a pixie fairy.
It does eventually
Is that like,
disappear, though.
you think that's like sweating or dandruff?
Ooh.
No,
For us?
Mike, you've seen the Tinkerbell movie. It's quite literally, from the Great Fairy Tree.
I don't remember being like attached to them in that movie though.
Yeah, it sits on their wings.
Well, that goes against it because, like, what was it? Peter Pan was holding her by the wings, and that stuff was coming off like it's nothing.
Yeah, there's been some retcons happening here and there.
Either way, the point I was gonna make is maybe he even found like the pixie trail and just followed it.
Yeah. All right, I'll admit it. It wasn't that impressive.
No. It was still
That's not
very
what we're saying.
impressive. It was still very impressive. Just him quite literally capturing her, I don't think is very impressive. But him tracking her down, like, I would think that's pretty impressive because he still has to take the long distance to get there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Hook was a great villain.
Yeah,
Best villain
I
since
agree.
the Evil Queen.
Yeah,
I would argue even better.
Wait. I have something
very
to say.
enjoyable.
I have something to say. This is backtracking, but it's on Peter Pan. Not necessarily a negative thing, and it's also on Wendy too. He broke into people's houses, right? But the creepy thing about him that scared me was when he noticed that his shadow was there, and Tinkerbell hovered near him. That face he made,
Right?
Yo,
was not okay. That was not okay.
that was a straight villainry face.
It was terrifying.
They could have
And then,
very
like,
easily made that a horror movie.
right, and like on the aspect
He is a
when he did
mischievous
eventually
kid.
get in the house and he caught his shadow and whatnot. I do feel that yes, Wendy was going on and on and on forever, but his response to her was extremely rude.
Yeah.
Because she was just trying to help.
And
Right.
he what am I trying to say? He admitted to sitting there outside the window listening to her multiple times.
I didn't even catch that part.
Yeah, he said he liked listening to her stories about him.
That is really narcissistic.
Yeah, he is.
No. But yeah, the last thing I want to say is on Wendy is like, Wendy clearly, like, you would think her parents raised her properly, but clearly they didn't, because if someone breaks in your house, despite them being an urban legend come true, you don't just greet them and be friends with them. Like that's a terrible idea.
That's actually a very common thing I think any child would do. You see someone who you idolize just come into your room, and it's shown in all forms of media, you get excited. You're like, there's no way! It's really you!
You are right on that. I
Yeah.
cannot disagree with you. You make a
And-
solid point.
It seems like I'm always bringing up parenting tips, but they say that you shouldn't teach your kids stranger danger because kids don't see adults or people that offer good things as strangers. So like when someone says, do you like this puppy? You want to go see more? They're not going to see that person as a stranger because they see strangers as monsters, and someone with a puppy isn't a monster.
Or so do they know.
Yeah. So they say teach your kids safe and unsafe adults.
I actually
Instead.
like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Only trust someone we know.
Yeah. And the main thing is that if anyone says that you can't tell mom or dad, that is an unsafe adult.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, like, just never trust that.
Yeah.
Bad words.
But back on track, I really liked the Lost Boys. They were all great, and the crocodile was funny.
I do.
He
like
was
that.
Crocodile was
taunting Captain
great.
Hook all the time.
The
Yeah.
crocodile was great.
And he knew he didn't even want to come eat Captain Hook. He just wanted to mess with him because he wasn't trying to get to him. He was just lollygagging behind him, ticking and talking.
He was
It's fantastic.
terrorizing this man. Just waiting. He's like, oh, you'll come to me.
I don't need to come to you. You're gonna come to me.
So great. That's all I have on characters, fellas.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Sweet. Visuals and animation. Oh, Mike, what you saying?
I'm just running through in my head. We talked about the father being a jerk.
Yeah,
Dog
he's
was
a jerk.
great. Crocodile's great. Captain Hook's a good villain. Shit. Oh, there was something I was gonna say. Is I don't know why Captain Hook kept. I'm gonna keep calling him Shmee. Kept Shmee as his first mate. That's what he was supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
This man, like, while competent, was also very incompetent. I mean, he completely didn't even realize he wasn't shaving his face because he forgot he put the towel on his face. He literally wrapped his face in the towel and then it was like, okay, I'm just gonna start shaving. It's like, you would have just been cutting towel the whole time. And then he's like, oh no, I accidentally decapitated him. I must find his head and give it back. Like, then he gets really drunk after capturing like Tinkerbell. And I'm like, I don't know, this man, I'm like, competent but very incompetent. I don't know why you kept him as your first mate.
Well, to be fair, the rest of his crew didn't seem very good either.
Weren't they in the beginning staging a mutiny? I thought that's what the whole thing was.
Well, I mean, they were throwing knives at a picture of him, or a drawing of him.
And they were saying, like, we want to go back to, like, pirating and not worry about this, kid or whatever. And then it was like, that just gets all tossed under the thing, because I was like, oh, his crew don't like him. Maybe that's why they're never really in the movie. It's because they all leave. But nope, that doesn't happen.
So with visuals and animation, I think the fight scenes, there was 2 fight scenes, right? And they were both, well, I mean, I guess if you count the Indian ambush as one, there's 3. So they were all very well animated.
I thought the movie was very well animated.
Yeah.
Very floaty but bouncy, you know.
Very floaty but bouncy.
Well, because the characters had bounce to them. They had pep. They had a lot of pep to their step, basically. But they were floaty because, I mean, minusing the fact of them actually flying. But, like, the characters seemed like they had a lot of, like, you know, they were really weightless, you know? I mean, Captain Hook literally ran on air at one point and ran himself up. Like, there's no weight to these characters, but it works so well in animation.
Disney magic, sir.
It's really, I don't know, I think it's really well animated. It's really fun to watch, and it's really just well done in general.
So I know Peter Pan is supposed to be a kid, but he looks old. He had a receding hairline.
Hey, some things are for never, bro.
And you guys remember the Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger show I told you guys you should watch on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Did any of you watch it?
No.
I have not.
Okay, so Peter Pan is in that, and I'm about to send you guys on Snapchat what he looked like in that. And since watching that, this is all I see the entire time I watched Peter Pan. It is very hard to unsee.
Oh my goodness.
I thought he wasn't supposed to grow up. How does that happen?
It's rough, huh?
Ooh-wee.
Well, how did that happen?
Well, because in this universe, they're just actors.
Oh, okay, you know what? That makes sense. Makes sense.
But they're
Sad to
still
say, but
them.
I think this happens to a lot of child actors.
No.
Yeah, it's a great show. I highly recommend it. But that every time I saw Peter Pan, that's all I saw.
Yeah, I don't, like, if I'm thinking of this correctly, a lot of times when they're, like, child actors, they don't keep up very well with their career and their, you know, general, like, appearance and health and stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. There was a huge time, like, when the child stars that we were watching when we were young, a lot of them couldn't handle the pressure and there was no one there to help them, so a lot of them turned to alcohol and drugs really young.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
where I'm,
it seems like
saying.
there's a lot of support out there now to where it's not happening as often.
Well, no, not as often. I'm saying, like, you know, technically take it from where he would be at that time, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's just funny.
I don't know if I miss. Are you guys talking about the voice actor who voiced Peter Pan?
No, he's talking about if Peter Pan, like the story in Chippendale Rescue Rangers,
Okay.
of him
That's what
growing
I
up
thought.
and falling
Because
out.
it's kind of ironic because the voice actor who voiced Peter Pan as a child, he actually went through I don't mean to be laughing about it, but he went through a rough patch, and he died at the age of 31 because of drugs and alcohol, and went down the wrong path.
Yeesh.
Fell victim to the child actor curse.
It's so sad to really just think about it because they're just made to handle all of that at such a young age at that time.
I just watched a fan documentary on YouTube about Dylan and Cole Sprouse and how they handled it. And Cole got really into geography or archaeology, something, and Dylan got into brewery and alcohol. But it's really odd because it's not like he became an alcoholic. He just got really into making beer, and he opened up his own brewery. And they both went to college, and they both got normal jobs because they wanted to experience normal life, and they didn't go through any of that rough stuff because their parents kept them level-headed.
And they're
Nice close eye on them.
is funny enough, Dylan Sprouse is actually I think it's Dylan. I'm hoping I'm thinking of the right person. I'm not going to say who they are, but they are a character. They are a voice character for Kingdom Hearts.
Huh.
They're a voice actor for a character, which is
I believe
part
it's
of
Cole.
Disney.
Well, Cole is still acting. Dylan doesn't do much, but Dylan is a big gamer, so that would make sense if he did it.
Yeah, it is Dylan. It's Dylan Sprouse. I just
Is
looked
it
it up.
really? I thought it was
Yep.
Cole.
No. Cole is still like an actual actor.
Yeah, he's on
I believe.
Riverdale.
Wait, am I mixing? Wait
Nope.
a minute.
Nope. Cole is on Riverdale, and he was in that movie 5 Feet Apart.
Yep. I'm right. Yep, it is. Yep. Okay. I'm again not saying who the character is, but he is a voice for a character in Kingdom Hearts, and I find that funny because it is tied to Disney, basically.
That's awesome. I'm not really sure how we got to this point in visuals and animation, but to get back on track, Tinkerbell dipping her feet in the ink and then walking around the map to show Captain Hook where to go, that was a fantastic idea. That was wonderful.
You know, it's really crazy that she believed him so fast. Like, it took one night after I don't know how many times they basically would have fought and realized this is like not a good person, and he's always out to like basically kill Peter Pan, that it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help him this time just because I don't like this girl that showed up.
That and fairies are, pixies. Pixies are very gullible and easy to believe people.
Didn't believe Wendy actually cared. But she's like, well, I actually like her. She was like,
Well, Wendy never did sit down and speak to Tinkerbell and be nice to her. She just spoke when things happened. She reacted more than she was proactive.
It's also like you have to have Peter Pan there to actually be a mediator so you can actually understand what she was saying.
True.
So what did you guys think about the animation? No, we spoke on it a little bit, but anything else you guys want to point out?
I agree with Mike. Like, it's very, like, adds a pep to it and has a floatiness. And what I mean by floatiness is, like, a lot of the article of clothing, when the characters move, it's a lot of animation back behind it.
Just the hats. Literally, you could just look at both Captain Hook and Peter Pan's hat throughout a lot of the scenes.
Their two designs are super iconic.
feel like it had a good balance. I feel like Alice in Wonderland, like the last one, it was just very colorful, like
Mhm.
a lot of pop, a lot of in your face, and I feel like this one, yeah, it brought the color, but it also had the nice like hard lines, you know, like the good
It
edge
didn't have to
detail.
go crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Alice
don't.
was like hyper fantasy, while while Peter Pan was like whimsical.
I was going to say I don't think we're going to have a problem with any animation going forward, but some of the movies coming up are pretty rough because they do something new that we'll talk about when we get to them.
Also, you never know how someone takes it when they first watch it.
Yeah. If you guys are good, we can go on to music.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, there's only 3 songs. The something about Next Star on the Right or something at the very beginning. You Can Fly.
wait.
What?
Sorry, I'll wait till you name them all.
You Can Fly, and then Follow the Leader was okay, except for when they called the Indians Injuns. Probably isn't great.
Yeah, that's what the disclaimer was for, though.
Well, the disclaimer is for the entirety of all the Indian scenes.
All the wording too.
Yeah.
Huck.
Yeah.
And Peter Pan's like little talk back at Wendy, be like,
Yeah,
"Man,
well-
girls sure do talk a lot." Like, whoa, buddy, let's dial that back.
I'll bring that up more in Legacy.
But there was a song you missed then.
What?
I didn't know if you were like if you had looked it up or not. But when you the part you fell asleep, there's a song that plays.
Oh, my bad. What song?
It's something about like what a mother is.
Oh, you know, she sings that song in the live action version. So maybe I know. I think. I don't know. Was it any good?
No. Okay, so I liked it. I would say out of all the songs that are there.
I mean, Follow the Leader's okay, and You Can Fly's okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Let's see.
In the
Peter-
par, I think it's the
What
better
about the pirate
of the
song?
list.
What you mean?
When the-
Yo
when the-
ho,
Yeah,
yo ho,
when
the
they
pirate's life
captured,
for me.
when they captured the boys, when they were singing on the ship.
So there's the second star to the right at the very beginning. You Can Fly, A Pirate's Life.
Is that the song then?
Yeah.
It's either that or it's just a song that doesn't really have a title, but it's music in the movie.
No, it's A Pirate's Life. And then
No, he's
Follow
talking about
the-
when they had captured them.
Oh.
Like when
Yeah, they're
right after they
actually
capture them and they bring them onto the ship, the pirates are singing a song, but I don't know if it's technically like an actual like song that's a listing song or like just something they're all just like singing.
Could be a reprise of A Pirate Life. But then there's Follow the Leader, like I said, and then the song you're talking about is Your Mother and Mine. And that's about it.
I'm noticing there's a big thing with like the music not having a lot in this part here. Like there's iconic ones that do stick out, but it felt like the beginning there was a lot of different music they were trying to throw in.
Oh, you talking of movies? Not just this one?
Of the movies, all the movies we've watched.
Yeah, so...
It seems like after Ichabod and Mr. Toad when we watched, the songs have been very more like, I guess, focused to keep short, like keep more, not as many songs, but try to make them, I can't even say stand out as well because they haven't really been standing out to me as well, other than the more
Right.
iconic ones that everyone knows about, basically.
So I would say Dumbo, so Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Dumbo all have pretty good music. Bambi, Ichabod, and Mr. Toad don't have any good music, that's just soundtrack. Cinderella's, all of them are bangers. Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, and Sword in the Stone, I don't think they're not like musicals. And then Jungle Book comes back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be
Yeah.
wrong because I don't remember anything from Sleeping Beauty, and I've never seen Sword in the Stone. So
Oh,
yeah, sorry, Kevin.
that was me.
That wasn't me.
Oh,
That was me that
sorry,
did
Mike.
that. That's all good. I think Sleeping Beauty has. No, wait, no, never mind. I'm mixing it up with something else. Never mind.
That's all good. All good. You guys have anything to add to music? What am I doing?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go to humor. I thought there was pretty good funny moments. Like we mentioned, the dad tripping all over the stuff, and the mad chaos was fantastic. And then the family running over to Nana. Like we talked about, Smee shaving the seagull's butt, and then thinking he cut Hook's head off. The delivery of the mermaid saying we were only trying to drown her was great. Like it was no big deal.
Right? Like, that was crazy. I'm like, yo, what? That's crazy. Also, I don't know if it was just me, but Tinkerbell's faces made me laugh too.
Yeah.
Like, whenever they did, like, the zoom in to just show her, like, annoyed or mad, I don't know why. It was like, it just was funny to me. It made me chuckle.
You guys, I don't remember who mentioned it. Was it? You'll tell me. When Smee's incompetence, that was Mike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he didn't even notice he was putting boiling tea water in Hook's foot bath.
Yeah. He just was burning this man up. Again, the incompetence.
And during the final fight scene, why did Michael find it necessary to take a cannonball?
You know, I was wondering that too.
It came in
But
handy
what's-
because he walloped that man in the head with it.
You know what's even more crazy? Is somehow that one did not tear through that teddy bear. And
Right.
two, he was able to continuously
Lift
hold
it.
on to the teddy bear with it. And then three, his brother was able to hold him and the bowling ball
Cannonball.
and pull them up climbing a rope. That's crazy.
My son loves to help us unload the groceries, so when we come home, I put them all by the front door, and then we go to the cabinet. Well, I go to the cabinet, wife goes to the fridge, and then he brings the stuff to us one at a time. And it amazes me that he can lift the milk jugs. It's like, man, you're a strong kid.
Bro, little homie is strong.
That's some strength.
The crocodile was dancing when the kids were singing, what was it? Hook is a codfish, and he was just in the water
Yeah.
dancing along to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Again, he was there
skipped
to
Hook across the
terrorize.
water like a stone. When he tried
To be
eat
fair,
him.
that was also on Hook because he was trying to hold those jaws open, and then it just kind of shot him forward.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. That is all I have for humor. What about you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm messing this sheet up so bad.
I'll be honest, I did not find much of anything funny here.
Really?
Yeah.
You've said that a lot with a lot of the movies. They haven't tickled your funny bone yet, huh?
Not yet. I will say I would say there were parts of the movie that get a genuine grin / smile out of me, and it's mostly just a crocodile. Just his levels of trolling Hook. It brings joy to my face.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he doesn't really want to eat him. He just likes messing with him.
He's just there to terrorize him.
You only gave 3 movies higher than a 5. You gave Cinderella a 6, Dumbo a 7, and Pinocchio a 9.
Pinocchio was hilarious. That's the gold standard.
Geppetto's
right now.
great. Kevin, what did you find funny?
I found all the crocodile scenes.
Yeah.
Those are what stood out, really. You know, especially the first one in the cave, when basically his first major interaction with Hook.
It was just so great every time he would show up and the TikTok starts and everyone starts cocking their heads with it.
Yup.
And the crocodile pokes his eyes out with the rhythm. It's good stuff.
Or his tail, or even when he's just swimming, it just shows his tail. The tip of his tail's going with it.
There's some good crocodile characters in Disney. 'Cause there's Crocagator from Fantasia. There's this one.
The
There's
Legend of
Lewis
Zelda.
from Princess and the Frog. I mean, I
That
guess that's
guy's cool,
probably
too.
it. But 3's a lot.
I wonder if they all know each other. Do they go to like a crocodile, a crocodile convention? Is
Maybe.
Crocodile allowed to go?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say I don't think they do, for the fact that Lewis, I think, lives in Louisiana, and TikTok, here comes the croc, lives in a fantasy world that I don't know how you get to.
And then who knows where Crocagator
You have a
lives?
solid point.
Crocagator is too busy, serving it up on stage. He's
Which
a busy man. His
Which means
schedule's booked.
Crocodile got some stacks to go fly out to Louisiana.
He ain't got time though. He's a busy man. He's got to keep that performance going.
Got a point. You got a point. He is married to showbiz.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. All about that business.
Wild. You guys want to move on to world building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Skull Rock is great. I think that is the thing that stands out most from this movie in my memory is Skull Rock. And after watching this movie, there's a Funko Pop of Smee in a little boat going to Skull Rock, and I think I want to buy it now.
I would say the thing that stood out, I would say this for sure. I would say this for sure. The world building in this movie, it's great. I like it a lot. Like, I will openly say that. Maybe some things I don't like, but that I do like. But the thing that lives rent free in my head is the clock tower.
Oh yeah, in London, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Yep, it
When I
is
was thinking about
rent-free
world
in my
building.
head. Mike knows the reason why.
It's good you bring that up
It
because
was rent free in my head.
I'm actually gonna go into that because the Skull Rock thing that you brought up, Joey,
Uh-huh.
I mostly remember that from, and it's gonna go with the Clock Tower too. Both of those from Kingdom Hearts.
Huh.
And the reason is because in one of the games, so you don't know who Peter Pan is when you go there, but you go to the rock and you're just told about him, and the dialogue for it, what it tells you you're supposed to do, it says put Peter Pan in his place. So that just exists in my head forever whenever I see Skull Rock now.
That's
It's like,
great.
yes, time to put Peter Pan in his place.
So
And
to
then-
oh, sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say, in the very first Kingdom Hearts game, the Clock Tower has a secret boss, and the secret boss is a pain in the butt. It is very difficult to fight, it is very difficult to beat, and it's very annoying and tedious. So that's why it kind of lives rent-free in our heads, as Dino said.
That's amazing. So, DeQuandrick, you said you like the world building was great. I don't think I can agree with that because I think I was disappointed. I feel like there was a lot more they could have shown on Neverland that they didn't. I feel like they spent more time on Hook's ship than they did on the whole island of Neverland.
I don't know, because they ventured to see the mermaids. They ventured to the forest. They ventured to
But
the
they didn't
Indian
show them
village.
venturing to the mermaids.
I mean,
they were
they-
just there, and then they were just in the little cove for like 2 seconds.
That is
Well, I mean,
true.
they flew there.
That's a nice little landmark. Then there's the Indians village, which was another nice landmark. Skull Mountain or Skull Rock. It's a mountain in my head, but like, there's that place as well. Like,
Yeah.
and then you go back to London, the house, the clock tower, the street. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of like landmarks and areas that were just like, this is nice. This is really nice, compared to some of the other movies where it was not a lot of like areas or landmarks. It was like just like 1 or 2 sets.
Yeah, and like I said, when I was making these notes, I completely forgot about their flight over London. That bumps it up a little bit.
Also, Peter Pan and Wendy flew over to Mermaid Lagoon, so they wouldn't have really, I guess, shown them traveling because they flew over there.
Right.
Plus, remember, follow the leader?
Yeah, well, yeah.
They were traveling right there.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel like Encanto, a movie where it just takes place in one single house, I feel like had better world building than a place that takes place on an entire fantasy island. And that might be a hot take, but must have been.
I've never seen it, so I can't say.
You
Same.
haven't seen
I haven't seen
Encanto?
I have my
Just
reasons.
you and Kevin.
I don't think I can do this podcast with you guys anymore.
Wait a minute.
But if you don't do it,
Wait a
then
minute.
we'll never see it.
Joey, I could text you the reason. I'm not saying it though.
Okay?
Well, I'm just saying so you don't like, just abandon me like that.
I'm not
I don't
going
wanna
to
be
abandon you.
abandoned.
He has a strong reason.
He's stuck.
He has a
He's
strong
stumbling.
reason, Joey. Trust me. Like his reasoning is stronger than my reasoning for not seeing Zootopia. I'll just like that. Like, trust me.
I would love. I can't even. Encanto's like in my top 3 easily. Disney movies. I love that movie so much.
I'll see myself out.
The best part about this, though, Joey, is you and Kevin get to hear me and Mike's reaction
To watching it for
Your
the first
reaction.
time.
Yes.
watching it for the
yes.
first time. So
It's gonna
look
be
at it that
amazing.
way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're privileged.
That's
Exactly.
one good point that I wanted to bring up because like Sword in the Stone is the first movie. Well, no, Ichabod and Mr. Crane I haven't seen, but Sword in the Stone I haven't seen. So my question is do I watch it twice, once before and then once for prep? Because I'm going to be taking notes and not paying attention to certain parts.
Watch it twice, yes. Once for the natural experience, and then the second time for prep.
Okay. I don't have anything else on world building. You guys can add whatever you want, or we can move on.
Good.
I'm in the same boat as Dino. I liked it a lot. The landmarks, the environments were all really good. The spot of putting Peter Pan in his place was good. It's all good stuff. I liked it a lot.
What are you,
I feel
Kevin?
like the only major world building was like showing the map and like the
Yeah.
layout. That's about it though.
To me, it was like when they fly over, right? And they're naming all the different landmarks, and they each kind of have like a distinctive look to them. And then I don't even think they mentioned but if you look on the map when they're flying over, you can already see the pirate ship, and they only bring that up after they're about to basically be shot. And then Skull Island. Why did I call it Skull Island? What was it again?
Skull Rock. Skull
Skull Rock,
Island's from
thank you.
King Kong.
Yeah, I was about to say Skull Cave, and I'm like, that's not right either. You only find
one
out
of those.
about that once you go there for the part. I don't know. I in the same boat as I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
That's fair. It's better than Alice in Wonderland.
Well, Alice in Wonderland didn't name anything. So that's the difference, really. They kind of just had areas, and the only ones that were technically named. I don't actually remember them naming a part. I just remember naming a character. They were just named characters, not really the places.
Alice in Wonderland was just sensory overload.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
So emotional impact, I have nothing. So you guys can take it away if you like.
Well, emotional impact could be a various number of emotions. My emotional impact was rage. So that's about it.
That's fantastic. I didn't
Mine
really feel
was
nothing.
enjoyment.
Enjoyment. Okay. Kevin.
So
Yeah, I didn't get it great. Yeah, cool, whatever. Get over it. Sorry, go on, Kevin.
the emotional impact for me, nothing too crazy. Just watching all the different renditions and different ways they've redone this show, this movie. Going back to the original just really puts emphasis on, all the characters, but more so like Tinkerbell's hatred. You know,
Wait,
like,
Kevin,
you
did you
don't.
say you had hatred for this movie as well?
No, no.
Oh.
I said Tinkerbell.
Oh, okay. My brain logged off for a minute there.
Yeah, no. So, you just rewatching this for the first time in a long time, it's like, wow. You know, wondering why in these different, remakes, they went down the paths that they did.
Well, I would guess it's
That's
because
right.
everybody loved Tinkerbell, so they wanted to make her a more likable character. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
I never knew anybody who disliked Tinkerbell.
I hated her.
Tinkerbell's
But, like,
great.
given the character that she was
Kidding.
originally written
Kidding.
as, I mean, like, she's not that likable.
Like you're right. Like I would say, like if you look at Tinkerbell on the surface about her, like her personality, the way she acts, it's not a likable thing. But people liked her design so much that she was like.
She liked
had
the
a great
They like
design.
the design and the sass. She's known for her
much,
sass,
yeah.
and I remember that. But not her hatred and her.
Yeah,
Malice.
she need to get that
Yeah.
checked out in some pixie therapy.
But she's kind of a torn character because I didn't hate her at all in the movie, but I definitely was like, she's got some like real like anger issues. I'm trying to be nice about it because if I were, I'd be like, she got on my nerves a lot of time. But Peter
Yeah, and-
Pan's arrogance got on my nerves too. I'm like, okay, buddy, calm down just a little bit. But I do like
Yeah.
the characters.
And like another thing, and again, I'm gonna touch base on all the remakes and retellings of this story, but this original animation doesn't have anything about, like when night falls in Neverland, all you hear is the cries of all the lost boys.
Oh,
You don't have any of that.
yeah, that would have been
That's
like that would have been
dark. What
that
the
would have been
heck?
chilling though. It would have been dark, but it would have been really, really good and chilling. I like the idea of that.
But like it's in all the other movies, and it's well known in almost every other remake.
So I seen Hook for the first time 2 years ago, and I only seen it that one time, and then Peter Pan and Wendy when it came out this year, and I've never seen any other version.
Huh.
So I've only ever seen the animated movie.
Oh, Hook is good
Wow.
with Robin Williams,
That's the best right there.
and Dante
Hands down.
Bosco is Rufio,
Rufio.
and he voices Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ah.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
I think that's also the voice actor for American Dragon, Jake Long.
Could be.
I think you're right, actually.
Could be. We get to move on to message/theme.
Yeah.
So the message that I saw, that I looked up so that we can try to avoid our tangents that we go on in this segment, is it is important to be accepting of maturity and a growing independence as we move from childhood to adulthood. However, it is also important to make sure not to grow up too fast and to enjoy the innocence of childhood. No, the innocence childhood offers before it's gone.
Since I want to speak on there as well, Wendy was complaining like she doesn't want to grow up, but she was pretty mature.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what helped her realize toward the end that she is ready to grow up, because this experience helped her realize how mature and different she is from the rest of the kids.
Right?
Yep. After seeing Peter Pan and how wild he was, she was like, you know what? I don't want to be a kid anymore.
Another cool thing is, like, in the movie, it kind of shows that, like Peter Pan's whole group, including Wendy's and her brother, were all kids. Like, even Tinkerbell, like, Tinkerbell threw consistent tantrums, which kids are known for doing. Like, they all had individual traits that makes up a kid.
Mm-hmm. There's actually something I want to touch up on the message and theme is, and I'm taking this strictly from the dad, is, and kind of the ending with Wendy as well. Even look back on it is, even if you grow up, still hold that like kind of the inner childlike wonder to yourself. It keeps you in good like a good happy position because even at the end of the adventure, you know, after everything she went through, she still said it was a great adventure. She had a great time, you know. Always hold that childlike wonder because if you don't, then you become like their dad. Don't be like their dad.
No, never.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
So I have a lot of notes for Legacy, so let's get into it. Real quick, that I forgot to write down is the Lost Boys is an iconic group name, and that is what I have us listed on as the hosts of this podcast on Spotify. It says the Lost Boys, and on TikTok it says For Lost Boys, and then whatever else it says. On Instagram it says something about Lost Boys. Lost Boys is just a great name for kids.
Because we ain't never growing up.
Yeah, kids that never want to grow up, and what better describes people who are making a podcast about Disney movies. And then, like we mentioned, there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the movie because of how they depicted the Indians, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they checked all the incorrect boxes there.
Yeah. Their design of them was rough. Their voice acting of them was rough. Their characteristics of them was rough. Just everything was rough. Tiger Lily was done all right, but yeah.
I mean, I will say this. At least the chief sounded really cool with that deep voice. The deep voice was cool, but I like deep voices. I think like they're really cool sounding. So.
And then like DeQuandrick, you mentioned Tinkerbell had way too many gags about her butt being too big.
Yeah, it was.
Was it butt or hips?
It was both.
Yeah.
It was a combination of both.
We had some nudity again with the mermaids. Some of them didn't have any tops on.
That's okay. The hair was there.
Yeah.
Or seaweed.
Yeah. Unlike in Fantasia, where some of them were just completely uncovered. A lot of unsavory things were said about women in this movie. Peter Pan to Wendy, Peter Pan to Tinkerbell. I think stuff was said to Tiger Lily. It's not good.
They didn't say anything to Tiger Lily.
Okay. Well, that's good.
What was this? I missed the. I heard all the Wendy stuff, but what were the things they said to Tinkerbell? Oh, wait, no, never mind. Captain Hook's little comment. That's right. Never mind. I remember when I watched it, I was like, oh, yikes.
And this continues the trend of movies since Snow White of someone smoking. Snow White's the only one so far that didn't have someone smoking. Well,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but every movie except for
What was
Snow White
his
has
name?
someone smoking. It's wild.
Smoke.
Now for the good, Peter Pan's flight is one of the most popular attractions at the Disney parks. Although they are, I believe, closing it because of the Indian scene in the ride. And I believe they're changing it to an up-themed ride. I think.
I'll be
quote
honest.
me on that.
Been to Disney like 3 times now. Never got on it.
Oh, it's a great ride. That was my son's favorite ride when we went. He was cracking up the whole time because it sways. You're on a pirate ship on like a track from the what do they call the big post with the sails? I don't know. But you're hanging from that, and it just sways as it goes around corners and stuff. It's a great ride.
It is a great ride. It's a staple.
Yeah. Tons of character meet and greets. Peter Pan is a fun character to meet. Captain Hook is a fun character to meet. Although he is in a mascot costume. That's weird. Because so is Geppetto, and that's really odd too. Why is Geppetto?
You know what's weird too about it? So the Captain Hook reminded me of the one dude from Princess Bride. Like, what was that guy's name?
I've never seen it.
It was like something, I think, Montoya.
Montoya.
Thank you. That's what it was. See, look at that. Called it out of your brain.
My
But, like,
name
his-
is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
Prepared to die.
Yeah. He kind of looks like him in the face, right? So that means, like, someone can look like that. So
kind of funny that they were like, just make a giant mascot costume head.
Yeah. It's funny, during COVID, you know, a bunch of the celebrities were bored, and Jack Black and a bunch of other celebrities at their mansions were filming scenes as characters from that movie. Like, I'm pretty sure Jack Black was that guy, and he was doing all the lines, and then he would splice in a different actor from their house doing a different character. It was hilarious. The movie got nominated for Best Original Song, You Can Fly, and it got nominated for Best Music. And then, like Kevin mentioned, there's a billion live-action versions of this movie. That's all I have for Legacy.
I'll be honest, I don't have anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have much. Other than Walt saw the play when he was a kid, and then he later landed the role himself, and he played Peter Pan in school.
That is an amazing fact that you're trying to pass off as, like, not that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah.
That is
No big deal.
incredible.
Yeah, and actually, when he finally, when he went and seen the play, he obviously he loved it, and then years later, when he made the movie, or when they were making the movie, he actually reached out to the starring actress in the movie, or in the play, and because he remembered her performance fondly and wanted her to look at early reels of his version of Peter Pan, but she declined.
You're just full of Disney knowledge, sir.
Little fun facts.
You guys want to jump right into rankings? Ratings? Whatever you want to call them?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Sure.
does
The
anyone
same
else
lady who voiced Alice in Alice in Wonderland voiced Wendy.
Oh,
I had a feeling. I was listening like, this sounds so
Why?
familiar.
This voice actress just like going on adventures.
2 years back to back.
another fun fact: the legendary Wilford Jackson, directed the movie again. Yeah.
As I said in Alice in Wonderland 2, the second star to the right was originally written for Alice in Wonderland,
Huh.
but they changed the lyrics.
Huh. All right. Dequan, what would you give out of 10 the storyline?
The storyline is a solid like 8.
How about characters?
Characters are actually really good. I'll give that an 8 as well.
Animation?
Animation, I'll give that a 7.
Music?
Music, I'm not gonna lie, it was like a 3 to me.
Motion?
What? Oh, emotion.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, emotion. So the problem with rating emotion is like it got me to feel intense rage, but I don't think that was the point of the emotion. Pretty sure the emotion was supposed to give me joy. So since it did not provide me much joy, I'll give it a 3.
Message?
The message, I get the message, but I think the message was kind of could have been, directed a little bit better. So I'm gonna give that like a 5.
Humor?
That's a big old 2 for me.
World building?
World building's a good 9 for me.
Legacy?
That's a good old 1 for me.
1?
Yeah, that's a good old 1 for me.
Wow. And overall enjoyment?
It's a good old. That's a 4 for me.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
An overall score of 50. Kevin,
Right
let's
down
hear
the middle.
yours.
Alrighty, you gotta help me out with the order because you
Okay.
jumped around.
Storyline.
Storyline. 6.
Characters.
6.
Animation.
7.
Music.
7.
Whew. Interesting. Emotion.
4.
Message.
8.
Humor.
4.
World building.
4.
Legacy.
7.
And overall enjoyment.
Let's go 6.
That gives you a score of 59, sir. Mike, you're up to bat.
All right. So what's the first one again? Story.
Storyline.
8.
Characters.
An 8. Yeah.
Animation.
Animation, I'm giving it a 9.
Music.
Music, I'm gonna give a 5.
Emotion.
Emotion, I'm going to give an 8.
Message.
8.
Humor.
About a 7.
World building.
That is going to get, I think, 9. Yeah,
Ooh.
9.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like the way that feels.
Legacy.
I think I might give it a 7.
And overall enjoyment.
Overall enjoyment is gonna be an 8.
It's an overall of 77.
Wow.
I thought that would be a little bit higher.
That's really high in my opinion.
I mean, it's 3 off from Cinderella, which I think is my highest rated one.
Yes. Nope.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be an
Mike,
8 as well.
your highest is Pinocchio at 81.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Got no strings on me, baby. No strings.
Ain't no strings on me, baby.
As Kevin pointed out, that overall enjoyment's probably the biggest kicker, which that would make Dumbo your highest. That's the only one that has a 10.
Man, that one
Pinocchio,
has strings.
Cinderella, and Peter Pan all have 8.
See, now, because Dumbo's got strings on me, man. That one does got strings on me.
Dumbo.
My heart.
Huh. Okay. My storyline, oh man, it was okay. I'll give it a 5. Characters, I'll give it a 7. Animation, 6. Music, I'm giving a 3. Emotion is a 1. Message, I'll give it a 4. What?
No, I was just like, whew.
the one.
Humor, I really liked a lot of the stuff in here. I'll give it a 7. World building, I'm giving it a 6. Legacy, I'm going to give it a 5 because of how big the story is, but how bad a lot of the aspects are. Put it right down the middle. And enjoyment, I'm going to give it a 5. So that's a 49.
Well, you were very close, sir. You want to round that to a 50 and join me?
I can go farther away. It's the best I can offer.
You're fine.
Dang, these guys dragged it through the mud.
we gave it a show rating of 58.75.
You know, that's
Very far from the bottom.
that's a D
Very
minus.
far.
I would say I demand a recount, but I'm pretty positive that would make it lower.
You got a point there.
If I said recon, I'd be like, all right, we're taking 1 point off everything. I'd be like, no.
So, very quickly, Bell's fanfiction section, there is a theory that Peter Pan kidnaps kids to be his lost boys. Then, before they grow up, he kills them and steals their youth to stay a kid forever. It also says that Captain Hook was a lost boy himself, but escaped and then spent the rest of his life trying to stop Peter Pan and saving lost boys in the process, who then joins his crew.
Yo, that theory go hard. I want to believe this one.
Yeah.
That theory kind of wild. I mean, you said the things that he gave before he broke into the house?
Right.
I mean, he wasn't trying to take them.
Yeah.
He wanted his shadow back.
I am saying this is canon.
I'm
Especially
not.
since the live action version, they confirmed that Captain Hook was a lost boy.
Yep.
And he wanted to go see his mother, and Peter Pan exiled him.
Yo,
I mean, that's the
didn't
thing.
know that.
You can
That's
go grow up.
wild.
But there's a reason they're lost boys and not lost men. You stay with him, you can be a kid forever. If you decide to go, you can't come back.
I won't agree as far as to say that that Pan kills him. I just think once you're stuck in Neverland, you can't leave unless, basically Pan lets you.
Well, it's not even like he stops you. He didn't, remember when they were saying we want to go? He's like, okay, you can go. He didn't stop him. He said you can go. Just know if you grow up, basically, you can't come back.
Yeah.
That's because
Okay.
he deemed them as losers.
So, if we change it to Peter Pan kidnaps kids and that Captain Hook was a lost boy and ended up leaving, and then he helps kids leave Peter Pan with taking out the killing part.
Yep. I'm in.
No.
Yeah.
No, because he doesn't even really try to, set the kids free. He's like, join me or walk the plank. He's just as bad. Join my crew or go dive in the water.
Hear me out. Walking the plank is philosophical for crossing back over to the real world.
Oh.
No!
Ooh.
Mike,
No!
you should know, sometimes when you take that dive into that water, Kingdom Hearts, you end up on the other side.
I like it.
Well, he pulled Kingdom Hearts into
Yeah, he
this.
used Kingdom Hearts against you, dude.
It ain't working because I ain't believing it.
Listen, I think we can keep it vague, okay? Yes, Peter Pan kidnaps kids and makes them lost boys. Hook used to be a lost boy, and
I will only believe the kidnapping until I see he forcefully takes someone. But he doesn't.
Oh, he don't have to
Okay.
forcefully take them. He has charisma.
Real life kidnappers don't forcefully take kids either most of the time. They
They use
convince
that
them to come
charisma.
with them.
Yeah.
Grab him and then walk away. That's forceful.
I mean, he just used his smooth words and talk.
Was-
If I tell someone you can come with me to this cool place and they choose to,
Was
Not
Pinocchio
kidnapping.
kidnapped? Was Pinocchio kidnapped, or was he
that
persuaded?
man was manipulated to it. So yes.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's manipulated. How does Pan manipulate anyone?
By
Because he
telling
tells
them,
them how great
hey,
Neverland
come to
is."
this great place where you can fly and never grow up.
He didn't even portray it like that. That came in after.
He doesn't talk about the fact that you can't never see your family again.
That's true.
I mean, I'm pretty positive that would be obvious. And again, you can leave. He never says you can't
How
leave.
come Hook didn't leave, man?
Depending on
He
which movie you
doesn't hold
watch.
them against their will. He brings them there and they stay. If they choose to leave, which they can, then they leave.
How come Hook didn't leave?
Because Hook has a clear petty vendetta against a child. He is a man who needs to get over it and grow up, go live his life.
Well, I got an idea.
His crew was even against him on this crap in the beginning.
I got
They were
an
not
idea.
for this. They were about to throw it, cause a whole mutiny for it.
Hear me out. What if Peter Pan actually did kidnap said kids? and
I'm not
turn them
going
into
off
lost
of what
boys?
ifs.
But let me finish. The kidnapped kids, turned them into lost boys and girls, right? But once he realized how Hook got out of control, he realized that kidnap is not the greatest idea. I have to persuade them. That way they
Why do you want him to
stay.
be this person? You're making a whole subplot that isn't there.
That's what fan theories are, my dude.
I'm not believing it. Hey, but no.
I believe it.
There is loopholes and holes in that whole story.
I'm gonna be honest. I definitely believe it.
I vote yes.
Yes, the first one since Fantasia that passed.
I love that we all
canon
just
test.
hate my whole theory of them all being a fairy. That's horrible. But because everyone
Wait.
doesn't like Peter Pan, that one's okay to be that he's a bad
I
person.
never said I hated your theory. I just said I believe the other one more.
Because you don't like him.
No,
There
it's
is clear
just that face you
bias.
gave. That is not the face of a person who doesn't kidnap people.
He wanted his shadow. If he got his shadow, he would have been out.
But he had to kidnap the kids first.
No, he didn't. Y'all just want this to be canon. I'm so biased. It's great. That's crazy. Nah, see, me can never be this biased, but I'll wait till my moment comes.
But can I give my fan theory now?
Sure.
So, rumor has it, this guy named Dequan didn't finish the movie entirely before the podcast. He actually finished it during the podcast.
That's incredible.
Oh my goodness.
So, wild theory. Following the fact that he was desperately looking for the movie under the title of TV shows and not movies. But that's just a theory, though.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All
But we'll take
speculation.
that he said that being that whole BS plotline of that being canon's okay. Okay.
Here's another thing, right? I didn't know when to bring it up earlier, so I'm just gonna throw it in there now.
Sure.
Usually you would expect them to do a lot more with the fact that Pan's shadow is sentient.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh,
They dropped
made me
that
kinda
right
sad.
at the
that
beginning.
makes me wonder. Is it just him who has the special shadow, or does the rest of the people in Neverland have, sentient shadows?
That's the
It's
shadow
just
of the
Pan because he's
kidnapper.
magical.
Fair enough.
Well,
Also,
rumor
what is the thing
has
with
it.
soap?
Rumor has it. There's some lore that the shadow does the kidnapping.
You honestly,
I'm not listening to any of this falsehoods.
I wouldn't be against that either, though. What was the shadow doing in their house?
In the live action, that's a good point. Why is it in the house? But in the live action version, they do use the shadow more often because that's how Peter Pan almost dies, because Captain Hook stabs the shadow.
Oof.
There's so much more. I'm
Y'all
gonna say it
listen, you
again.
can hear this clear biasness and hatred for this man.
I'm going to say this again. Every single one of you, whether you are a host of this podcast or a listener of this podcast, you need to go watch the show Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time.
And you guys
Actually,
need to go
I
see.
had a theory.
Mike, if you... Oh,
I
didn't
can't wait
even
for you
think
all to
about
just
this.
disagree with this.
I didn't
Off
even think
rip,
about
off
this.
Rip already.
In,
I'm already hearing the fight.
Hey, what's your theory? Let's hear it.
I was gonna say-
hang on. In Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Peter Pan literally kidnaps all the other actors.
Oh God, no.
My man became a villain as an adult, a hero as a kid. He couldn't let it go. It's like the people who peak in high school. They can't let it go. They think they're the top of the line, so they become jerks later on.
No, he just did what he was good at. Stealing kids.
From your biased perspectives, that's crazy. That's crazy.
All right,
That's
let's hear your theory,
crazy.
Mike. Let's hear your theory.
My man's just trapped as a kid. He can't get over the fact he can't grow up. That's a flaw in him.
What's your theory, Mike?
My theory is that I actually think. Remember how the dad at the end says, I remember seeing that pirate ship when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think when Captain Hook ran away, I'm gonna throw in some time stuff here. When he ran away, he found his way back to England in the past, and that is a descendant of Hook. Like, their dad is a descendant of Captain Hook, which is why he can remember the pirate ship probably from being told about it and shown about it.
Okay, I like that, but that just means that you also agree with our theory that Captain Hook was a lost boy.
Wait, oh my
I never
God, hold on,
disagree with
Mike.
that.
Come on, your theory's kind of cooking, and it kind of works into our theory too. I mean, there's a reason why, the dad somewhat resembles Hook, and the fact
He
that
does look like
the
this.
dad also dislikes Peter Pan and stories of
They're-
Peter Pan.
They're also voiced by the same voice actor.
Oh my! Wait, hold on.
Mhm.
This is the full theory.
Look at this.
Well, I didn't know
Mike.
about the voice actor. I thought they sounded. I was like, they sound the
No,
same. They
yeah.
look the same. They both don't like Peter Pan.
Same voice actor.
Mike, you just made
That's cool.
our theory that much better. Good job.
Actually,
One
no, because y'all
of
still
us.
want to make Peter Pan
One
the
of
villain when
us.
he's not.
One of
That's the
Yeah,
crazy
this is
part. I
a
never
group
disagreed with Hook being a lost boy. Call me back when I said I disagree with that because that didn't happen.
So,
But hear me out. This is a group theory. All of our theories come together as one big theory.
heck yeah.
Actually, mine technically doesn't have to. How
Oh,
does mine have to
jeez.
connect to yours? No. Can you point out where I said that would basically agree with your guys' plot line?
Because you said that Captain Hook escaped.
Yeah, you did.
No, he did because he was able to grow up.
But it wasn't established that
He
he was a
escaped
lost
from
boy.
Neverland. I said he got away from Neverland. Maybe
But there's
escaped was
adults
the
in
wrong word.
Neverland.
Because I'm basically saying he moved away from Neverland. Like the crocodile chased him all the way out, basically, was what I was trying to say. Escape was probably the wrong word.
What I'm hearing is that you agree with us.
Nope, that
I
is
like
incorrect, sir. You guys are biased villains, and I disagree.
I'm not. Can I be an anti-villain?
No.
Dang.
Actually, you probably could if you
What is
want
an
to. You can be whatever you
anti-villain?
want to be.
Anti-villain is basically a bounty hunter. They just do things for
Well,
the
that's
money.
anti-hero, right?
Oh, you're right. And what is anti-villain? What do they
Well,
do?
maybe a bounty hunter would be anti-villain because they're doing bad things, but not for malicious reasons. An anti-hero is they're doing good things maliciously.
Yeah, okay, anti-villain. There we go, yeah.
All bad guys are bad guys.
Like Peter Pan?
That
On
would
your
make
biased
sense.
theory, sure, whatever you want to believe, man. Believe your biased hatred.
We can jump onto Riley's emotions so we can try to get this under 2 hours real quick. Riley's emotions. What was everyone's favorite and least favorite moment of the movie? Dequan.
Oh man, my favorite moment of the movie. Whew, that's Okay. Let me see. I had to think on this. Wait. Oh my God. Wait. What is my favorite moment of the movie? There's a lot of nice. Okay, I will say this. My favorite moment of the movie, as bad as it is, it was them all celebrating at the Indian village because it was a joyous moment. You know,
All
despite stuff that goes with it, but it was joyous.
Okay. Least favorite?
All the scenes where Tinkerbell was disrespected.
Fair enough. Kevin?
My favorite was the interaction in the cave with the crocodile and
That's a
Hook.
good one.
Least favorite?
Least favorite was Tinkerbell having the Lost Boys shoot down Wendy.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. I ain't gonna lie.
Mike?
Favorite moment. Trying to think. I kind of liked. I'm kind of in the same boat as Dino. I like the scene because it's like enjoyable to watch. Like it's like watching a party. Watching a party's fun.
Exactly.
So I'm probably gonna go with that. And my least favorite part is y'all's whack theory. I'm kidding. My actual least favorite part is I might go with the same one as Kevin because I can't it's hard to think. I didn't really think of what a favorite moment would be and a least favorite moment. Maybe I'll say my least favorite moment is all the offensive stuff because I was blind to a lot of it from before, but this one was like a lot of the dialogue choice. So I'm like, like it actually made me over here like, ooh, why'd you say that? Oh no.
Right. For me, any scene with Captain Hook is the best scene. So I'm going to say specifically the shaving scene is my favorite. And then least favorite is whatever happens after the Indian party because I fell asleep because it was so boring. Everybody's favorite and least favorite songs, probably not going to be that hard because there's barely anything.
Favorite song was the song they were singing on a ship that is not listed as a song. And my least favorite song would probably be. I don't think I liked Follow the Leader, to be honest. I didn't like that song.
Interesting choice. Kevin?
Favorite Second Star to the Right, and least favorite, I didn't really have one.
Wait, what was Second Star to the Right?
It was during the opening credits.
Oh, okay.
Mike?
My favorite song is actually going to be the Your Mother, or My Mother and Your Mother. And my least favorite can kind of be any one of the other ones.
Fair enough. My favorite's going to be Follow the Leader.
Oof.
And
You know, I like that we all had a different favorite.
and my least favorite, I guess I'll say the Mother song because I didn't hear it.
You didn't even hear it. Let it be known from this podcast, Joey hates me, and I will have my revenge.
Just because you didn't watch Encanto.
Right?
Right? He heard that and he's like, he has it out for me. He's like,
Anything Mike says from here on out, I'm disagreeing with.
He didn't forget.
And he'll never forgive.
Even when you watch Encanto and you're like, this is fantastic, I'll be like, this is the worst. Everyone's favorite and least favorite character.
Okay, so this was a hard toss-up for me. It's between Tinkerbell, obviously, no shocker there, and the beautiful doggo, whose name I can't remember at the moment. Nana. Like, it's between those two, and it's so hard for me to choose.
Man, Nana's a good pick.
I can't really, like, pick between the two. Just know that it's one of the two.
I
My
think
least favorite character, it was between two characters, but one obviously ultimately takes that. It was between the dad and Peter Pan. But clearly, Peter Pan takes that because he had way more showtime than the dad. If the dad got more showtime, they'd probably be tied. But Peter Pan was kind of the title boy of the movie.
That's incredible.
Literal abuser father who has a temper problem on his kids takes it on them. Got it.
Kevin?
Favorite is gonna be Captain Hook, and least favorite, I'll go where Dequan didn't, is the Dag.
Yep. Mike?
Fair.
My favorite is the dog. Absolutely loved it. I wish the dog got more pets. Deserved all of them. That dog was great. Least favorite is the dad because he's a jerk and he has a temper problem and he takes it on his kids when things go wrong. And they can be easily fixed.
Yep. So for me, just like the Quandric, I have a split between Captain Hook and Tinkerbell, but I'm going to give it to Captain Hook just because of how... Just honestly because she tried to kill Wendy. If that didn't happen, she'd be number one.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then in last place, I am struggling to pick between the dad and Peter Pan. But I'm going to pick the dad.
What?
Look at that, Mike. I was the outlier this time.
Oh my god. No, you're not really an outlier because Joey's in the same boat as you. He just chose the other one, which actually surprised me. I thought Joey was actually going to pick Peter Pan for the joke.
Peter Pan, at least, he has some redeeming qualities. The dad doesn't really have any.
You also have to remember, Mike, Kevin and Joey are both fathers, so they have to keep up, appearance.
Keep up appearance. They're just they believe so hard in that whack theory. Actually, Kevin didn't even say anything against it, so.
Yeah. If you disagree with my theory or if you disagree with Mike, please email us in. Or if you have any questions that you want to know of our opinion on anything, not just related to the movie that we're covering, email us in at themagicofanimation@gmail.com.
Or you can leave some comments on the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube, or the TikTok.
Anywhere you can get us a question. And with that being said, they all lived happily ever animated.
Except for me. That theory hurt my dang soul. And the fact they all agreed with it.